So, Richard, I'll be honest with you, this is a cold call. That's the open. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl+Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today in day number 70, look at that 70, fabulous, of 119 days of cold calling training. We're here to talk about the This is a Cold Call Open. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 17 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So fundamentally, I want to talk about the open that some salespeople use that's considered the. So I want to come to the point, Richard. This is a cold call. I want to. Please don't hate me when I say this, but this is a cold call. I want to be honest with you, George. This is a cold call. So, guys, I want to blanket say that whilst in some instances this can work, and some people will maybe even compliment you for saying, "Oh, I appreciate you telling me it's a cold call," that it will never really help the energy raise from wherever the energy is up. Okay? It will at best keep it the same at best, right? I use that word specifically at best to bring it down. This is normal. It will bring it down. At best is here. So it'll probably land somewhere between here and here. So in 90% of the cases, so think about that, it's 9 out of 10 conversations that you'll have, saying that this is a cold call or something to that effect will bring the energy down. Because don't forget, if we think about, words that you shouldn't use, I'm trying to think of the training that you should refer to for that. Bear with me, I will find it. Training day number 15, the don't you dare say it technique. I would say that, I want to be so a couple of things. Using additional words such as hate, don't want to surprise you, upset you, just to make sure you're not off your guard. Any language of that kind is fundamentally negative language in that it lowers the energy of the call. And therefore, it means that it's difficult to raise the energy back up again. Don't get me wrong, again, the problem with, for example, the successful calls that you all do have as callers is that leads to, for example, I don't know if you call it omission bias or confirmation bias, but because you get some form of result from a activity or technique, such as the cold call open, you assume that this is a technique that works really, really well. When, to be honest with you, it just lowers the energy. So my answer to this is don't use it, okay? Use a combination of any of the other 60 odd techniques that we've been going through in terms of the cold call, instead of saying, so Richard, I want to be honest and come to the point, this is a cold call. Now, there is a context when using it absolutely does make sense, and that's when someone says, Deepak, like, is this a sales call, or you trying to sell me something? In those moments, then absolutely you should go with a yeah. Now, honestly, it is, and I think you're gonna like it. It will take 30 seconds, and if you could give me that time, if it isn't for you, of course, we just hang the phone up and bid each other a good day. Does that seem reasonable? So when someone challenges you, okay, is when you should introduce that this is a cold call, right? And when someone will challenge you, it might be every 1 in 5 calls, as an example, that you might get a challenge from somebody where and when they want to ask, is this a cold call? And in those moments, it's perfectly appropriate to then introduce this to say that, yep, this is a sales call, this is a cold call, yep, I'm here to pitch you on our services or pitch you on our product. In those contexts and circumstances, it's completely fine. But opening with it, I just tend to refrain from it. I think that it introduces, like, cold is not. Here's another way to think about it. Cold is not warm. Okay, it's not. I mean, it is a cold call, but cold is not a warm word. And what we're trying to communicate, demonstrate, evoke in our first call is to make it feel like a warm call, to make it feel like, wow, you know what? I really like talking to this guy. This guy's pretty damn cool. So giving or communicate, transferring that energy over the phone is what we're trying to do here. And You know, again, I got to look at my American counterparts. The American voice with a lot of the energy, especially like New Yorkers and stuff, it lends to being able to do this because of the rhythm and the bounce, and it feels like, whoa, this is exciting. It's like, hey, it's Maggie here. How are you doing? What can I do for you? Whereas in England, you'd say, hey, it's Richard here. How can I help you? So having energy and then deflating the energy by saying, look, this is a cold call. You can't, for example, say, oh, this is a cold call and say it with a smile. It feels wrong, basically. So guys, just don't use the cold call open. I think that you can use it, but I don't think it will lead you to the best success. But of course, in certain contexts, when you're challenged, definitely use it then. So there you go. This is a cold call open.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.